Hello, you're listening to Who Agrees with me, Paul Black.
And me, Kendra McPherson.
And as always, thank you to our sponsor, Iola, who are keeping us specky and gorgeous. So today you're, I don't know how this works. I was going to say, today you're in your luteal phase.
I'm menstruating today.
That's different.
Absolutely.
Right, I'm going to ask once and for all, because I've heard that a lot, not just from you. You have said a lot, but I keep hearing luteal phase, and I know we discussed it, but I truly don't know what it means.
So basically, it's a phase in your cycle, if you have a period, between, I think it's about 10 or so days out from when you will start actually bleeding, where basically you start your hormone levels change, and you're more susceptible to becoming irritable, depressed, suicidal, angry, tortured, likely to harm another or yourself.
But doesn't that also happen during the actual period?
Well, this is the thing.
So when do you get a day off?
You literally don't. But the thing is, that's actually quite a common misconception, because for me personally, it might not be the same for other people, but for me personally, when I actually start bleeding and start my period, apart from the physical discomfort, emotionally, I actually feel better. I feel I'm wide awake. Oh. I'm like sharper. I'm like on. I feel unclouded. I actually feel like I'm moving through something because I'm literally shedding my womb. Whereas the build up before, for me, in the last, I would say about 2 or 3 years, has become untenable.
Yeah.
Unsustainable, actually.
And do you think now when... I'm not saying luteal phase is a trend. I'm not saying that, but
no, I know what. No,
but when something comes into the consciousness,
it's become a bit zeitgeisty on TikTok. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, as a token, I do get what you mean, because now the phrase seems to be getting thrown about a bit more. But I think it's because people are obviously talking more about cycles and hormones and having a female experience.
What's the etymology? Where's that word coming from?
I would like to know that. Actually,
what does luteal actually mean?
It'll have an exact meaning because it's a specific...
Why do I think it's to do with the moon and it's not? Well, that's lunar.
I can see why you would say that, though.
Luteal relating to the corpus luteum.
Nice.
Knew it.
The
corpus.
Love and hate her.
That's very... do you know what it keeps coming back to every time? Latin.
Always. Always.
That's famously how language works.
So I'm really, though, I know that there's more research and more discussion about PMDD and stuff at the moment, because it is grossly under-researched, underfunded to research it, and women just aren't really taken seriously. Shock. But the more I've spoken to certain women, and I always thought like I'd got a wee bit kind of premenstrual tension or whatever you call it, but the past wee while, I have honestly, genuinely been struggling. Like, this week has been so challenging. Like, I think I set out to like achieve certain things or feel a certain way or do certain things. Sometimes that's just life. It doesn't happen. But this week, like, I've been like racing thoughts, crying, anxious, so sensitive. Like someone could say something to me and I don't have any recall or like ability to rationalize what's been said the way I would a normal day. Instead, I'm just straight into like, that's an attack on me, or like, oh my God, my worst fear has been realized. Or like, do you know what I mean? Whereas now that I spent this morning just cramping it out big style and letting that red river flow, I'm back to my usual sentient self.
Do you know what I think we should do for a Patreon episode? I want to do that thing where they make men put on those little things on your stomach that makes you simulate cramp.
Oh, please, can we buy one?
Because I genuinely, as an empath, I want to know.
It's insane.
And I want to feel your pain.
And you know what? I know the pain that I feel and experience. And that's why when I was younger, I ended up going on the pill purely at the beginning for pain reasons related to my period, because every time I came on, I would vomit and shit myself, and I had to get sent home from school because I was vomiting and shitting myself. Genuinely. So imagine every single thing that can come out of your body, tears as well, obviously.
Yeah.
And then I would have to go home from school. And that's a full day of your life where basically in a capitalist society, sorry, not to go on a TED talk, but there's no space in most workplaces for someone to be like, I need to take a day of leave off due to because I'm on my period, which there should be in all workplaces in my opinion, because how can you get things done? Like, you actually can't when you're bent over double.
I think is not even argument, but statement that always hits, and I'm like, it's so perfectly aligned, that the fact that they talk about how there's no cure for endometriosis, but there's like how much research is went into Viagra, like versus and how much money they spend on that.
I know that is so
and
true.
yet there's no cure for endometriosis. Sorry, I'm. Do you know what I'm sounding? See, if I was straight saying this right, I would sound like the final boss of performative male. So fucking pissed off about the lack of
That
research.
I can get a really strong fucking stiffy whenever I fucking want. You guys are struggling.
Yeah, but it's. I think we deserve to get those things on
Yeah,
us.
I think
The
that would
Cramp
actually
twins.
be really that we would be the Cramp twins. That would be really good fun. But
That should be taught in schools.
do you know what though? It should be. It absolutely should be.
They should give you the actual device. In
I
schools.
have such toxic leanings towards constant gratitude that, like, even when I'm going all the pain and torture that I've been through, we'll get onto that. Even when I'm jamming it out big style and I'm doubled over in pain, I'm like,
All right.
oh, I'm so grateful to be experiencing my monthly bleed. I'm so happy that my body works the way it should. I'm so happy that the blah blah blah. And I'm like, that's fucked up. Why am I grateful for
You got
this?
to reframe it somehow.
Yeah, but I'm obsessed with reframing things, and sometimes I'm like, no, this is shit,
Yeah,
and I need to just say this
call
is
a spade a
fucking
spade.
shit.
But see, it's interesting the way you describe, or like other women I've heard describe that there's feelings of like the emotional turmoil you're describing there, or like the thing of going on the pill and how like you're just given the pill when you're really young and nobody talks about all the fucking insane side effects to your mental health. The fact that the only thing I can relate to that like that sounding like is like the feeling of when you come off antidepressants like cold turkey and like you're fucking all over the place and you're like, then you can after a while past you can go, oh my god, that was cause of that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
so the fact that that's after we take a pill that's for, like
And Ibiza.
Mike
To show
Posner's-
Avicii I was
do you
cool.
know? Do you know that Mike Posner, whatever, has released another song that's a bit like now? I took a pill in Ibiza, as Americans say. It's all about like that was a hit for him because it was kind of like raw and honest when it was like I was a one-hit wonder, and
Oh, I thought you meant the sentiment of the song.
it was. It was. Have you ever listened
Yeah,
to it?
sure. It actually couldn't be more plain
Yeah, and
or
he-
vulnerable.
And he was honest about himself in a way that he said, I made $1 million and I spent it on girls and shoes.
And does he say?
He's like, nobody feels sorry for
see
me.
in the background, is he going sad soul?
That's
Is
because
that
it was remixed.
Oh,
Because the remix is one we know, but actually it started as a sad acoustic song.
really?
It wasn't the. Do you know? We are so free from the shackles of Kygo remix.
Don't say that, because if you say that 3 times in
They're
a minute,
coming back.
Kygo will
I did
appear.
love it. I used to listen to Kygo album tracks because I wanted to be.
Is
It
that
has
we
a light.
light up the
There's so
world?
many.
Yeah.
Firestone. No, but everything was like, fuck it, we steel drum.
Oh,
for
but I do
Kygo.
love a
It
steel
was
drum, but
good.
that was
It
another
was
level
its
of
time.
it.
But the Mike Posner song, I can't remember what it was, but I seen it on TikTok, and he's released another song that's like trying to do the same thing. He's like, I wrote a song about taking a pill.
Oh
and
no,
and I'm
not
like,
the
come
not
on.
the Requiem.
It's fair. Once is enough.
Yeah,
we can't
too
keep harking
much.
back, Mike.
Too much.
But he had a wee bit of a moment when that song came out and he was like invited to things again. Like the Grammys,
I'm not
maybe.
familiar with what he's up to at the moment.
I don't know how the fuck I got onto Mike
Because you were
Posner.
talking, no, it was actually me that segued because you
Oh,
were
yeah.
talking about taking a
Taking the
pill and then
pill,
I
yeah.
went there.
But
no, well, I've had that as well with the pill and stuff, and then I came off that, like, I was on that for about, well, that's what I used to get very confused about. I don't know if we've spoken about this on the pod before, but like, because I'd been on the pill from 16 to like 25 or something, that's like your formative years. There's a lot of growth mentally and physically going on in that time, right? And then in my head, I was like, do I have these reactions or personality or behaviors because I've had changes
who's the real
implemented
me?
to my hormones,
Yeah.
or is this me, or would this be my response, or would I think this? Because people report as well that even women have different reactions to males physically when they're on and off the pill, as in certain smells or certain pheromones they'll react differently to, because it's all about hormones. It's the same with what you're saying about coming off like antidepressants. Like, it's a literal chemical imbalance change in your body.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to start to have reactions. But when I come out the luteal phase, I genuinely feel like a fog is lifted. Like
Aye.
it's like
But
you're
there's such
looking
a
back
short
on a
period.
totally different time.
if you talk about a week to 10 days of being on your period, and you talk about a week to 10 days or whatever being on your luteal phase, what are you getting really? I mean, because people say the week leading up to a period and then the week of your period, then the week after you're feeling no feeling right. That is
Well,
1
your
week.
follicular phase is probably your
Oh.
strongest phase, because that's when you're probably feeling more. I think, if I'm right, I hope I've got the terminology right, there is a phase, if it's not follicular, there is a phase in your cycle where you are advised to lean into your more creative pursuits or be more forward thinking or, you know, go for things because that's when you're at your kind of optimal. So that's when you should, because a lot of people just kind of track ovulation or actual menstruation when really if you want to like optimize on your output or treat yourself kindly or be softer and slower, you should really be tracking all the different parts of your cycle because that's how you'll get the best or know what to do with yourself. Like you shouldn't be like, even wee things like in certain phases of your cycle, you shouldn't be at the gym doing really high intensive workouts because that probably isn't what your body really needs. Or like,
and I've been doing that in solidarity with you.
I've literally been at the gym every single day, pumping and whatever else you do there. And that's why you should really, like, I can't believe how little I've known about my own body and what it needs for so many years. And I've had to go and learn that myself. And I'm like, that's why this is what keeps coming back to alternative schooling.
Yes.
Because I need my child to be at my school of
ovulation
life.
Class.
Literally though, but that's, you know what, it's so funny because that sounds mental. Why is that mental? We would not be here talking about this if I didn't ovulate, me personally.
And do you know what? Everything I know about ovulation, do you know where I learned it? From Khloe Kardashian.
Really?
That's all she was ever talking about.
Fair.
The Kardashians.
Sorry, I'm completely aware the first bit of this episode is just totally segued into my jam rags.
No, but that's fine. We have a mostly female listenership.
Yeah, they want to hear it.
And they're all doing this.
Yeah,
if you
I
can't
hope
see
that
me,
they
I'm clicking my fingers off of Drag Race.
I hope
they're
that they
loving
are.
It. Yeah, they are. Well, speaking of things that...
Nice.
I can't do the thing.
You can't do it. You're halfway there.
Speaking of things that are about being in your body and feeling like a woman, going through lots of things, I want to talk about Wuthering Heights.
Of course, everybody does.
I can't stop saying Heathcliff.
Oh my God, that's so weird because... I don't understand why this keeps happening in the moment, but my boyfriend just keeps going, Heathcliff.
Well, that's how fucking Jacob Elordi sounds.
Is that how he sounds? Because I thought David was lying to me and taking the piss.
No, you'll be pissing yourself because he goes, Heathcliff.
Are you joking?
And now because you know he's Australian and he goes, so I went to see it last night. Kendra hasn't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it yet.
I assumed you'd be going today.
So the issue, because I've got a very busy day today, I haven't been able to. And my issue was, you know, I normally book ahead.
Yeah,
but I did think, I was like, I don't know, because I knew I had a busy weekend. I was like, I don't know if I want to go on opening weekend. I was like, I'll maybe just leave it for a minute. But then when the Charlie album came out on Friday, I went to my Cineworld app with haste.
Yeah.
Then I realised it was so busy. I thought, do you know what? I'll leave it till it melts till Monday or Tuesday.
What I did to counter it being busy was I went to book it at the View St Enoch's and it was rammed packed out every day. And then, do you know what? It wasn't packed out? The Fort.
Good
so
shout.
I hauled my ass to the Fort.
You've got to be choice.
I actually was busy then, but when I booked it, there was still tickets left. But I'm going to say this. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, you liked it, didn't you?
Despite what the world seems to be telling us, and I promise I'm not being, because I know there's been instances where I've talked about things that everyone loved and I didn't. I'm not just being contrary. I do genuinely like. I've never read the book and I'm not so emotionally invested in it. I think that's a lot of people's problem is that it's not like the book or whatever. But I think that film is exactly what was marketed to us and it felt exactly how I thought it was going to feel. Apart from I liked it more than I thought it was going to, based off everyone saying it was terrible. And I thought, I don't know what... I'm
very, very interested to go and form an opinion on this because I am seeing such... contrasting views and perspectives and thoughts on this. I'm like, how can people have such polarizing views? I've not seen one person yet that was like, it was all right. Everyone's like, oh my God, I loved that. Or they were like, it was literally the worst thing I've ever seen.
It's certainly not like I think it's by no stretch of the imagination like the most perfect film ever. There's plenty in it that I was gonna come on, or like that's a bit ridiculous, or like that's a bit crass, or whatever. Like there was bits that I didn't love, but as a whole, because I think see what we are so used to, and what us two particular, we love films, we love the yearnings, we love the love stories, but we like ones that are pretty subtle and intelligent in ways, and this is not obviously subtle at all.
Well, it's highly stylized, isn't it? Like that's the whole thing about it.
And it's also, it's like, well, if you're into that type of thing, it ticks all the boxes absolutely, and it's so like, obviously it goes without saying, and I'm not just going to repeat what we're saying about Hamnet, but obviously we do need to go back to those days. Yeah. In many ways.
But then that's what I think looks interesting about this because it's got such a contemporary modern twist to it.
Yeah.
Like that Wuthering Heights has been adapted many times. I can see why she's maybe thought that, you know, that we've seen this adaptation across ITV, etc. But we have seen so many different iterations of this. I will come in and do a different twist on this. I can see why she's done that.
And it goes to, I don't like Emerald Fennell.
I always say Emerald Fennell.
She is hands down the poshest person I've ever seen in my life. Like her voice is fucking insanely posh.
There's not even any. There's not a smidgen of doubt. Posh people do exist.
They do.
I'm not defending them, but they are out there and they do
I was
exist.
thinking for a second now that way when you like go and see like a queer film and you go, oh, you can tell this wasn't written by a queer person, or you go and see a film about any sort of minority group and you think this should be told by someone with lived experience. Sometimes.
And now we said
people can make really good films about posh people.
Yeah, because they know the
She grew
lore.
up in that gaff, probably.
Yeah.
And also, she like, what is she like? The daughter of a jeweler that's a billionaire.
Yeah, she will inherit like a gazillion pound jewellery business.
And what was it? She said she was adapting it, as in quotation marks. But you said this.
She said that basically it's her interpretation of how she read it when she was 14 years old.
And I think I actually admire that I think it says something as an artist to be so like motivated by your 14-year-old interpretation of something and getting to bring it to life. I think that's good.
Yeah, true.
I think that's good.
On paper, I like it. I think my only concern, and I think that I actually feel quite blessed in this instance, which I don't often feel like if I haven't read something, then I go and see a movie adaptation of it because I feel a bit like out of step, which I do feel a bit. But I actually feel quite happy that I don't have a really close like interest or, you know, enthusiasm about Wuthering Heights. I haven't read it, which actually is quite bad, but I haven't. I actually think that might free me a little bit because I think if I went and watched it and I was a proper, you know, Wuthering Heights fan of the original novel, I would be frustrated.
So I haven't read it, so I feel the same way.
You can just enjoy it as a standalone piece that you know is inspired by certain things. Like I know the headlines, but I don't know.
But it's like also I think that you need to accept that. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think of something that I was invested in that became adapted to something else because I understand that would be annoying and frustrating, but like also at the same time it's like I think you should view everything like a standalone thing because it's like when people get pure fucking raging about Game of Thrones.
The only thing is I think I saw a lot of people kind of pushing back saying that her defence was also that it's such a dense text that
she was like, I could be fucked reading it.
Basically, she just got Spark Notes up, literally. But
ChatGPT, give me the highlights.
She was basically it's such a dense text that a film wouldn't be able to do it justice. But then I read another person saying, well, they're literally adapting Ulysses this year. Like, you can't do it. Also, she has the budget and the power, probably, to do that if you wanted to do it. She just didn't want it, right? That's fine. She wanted it to be a hornathon. She was frigging off. That's fine.
And there are bits, right, where it does get a bit na come on, do na come on.
The casting alone, she knew what she was doing. Do you know what I mean?
But it's not even with them that it gets a bit.
Oh, really?
It's so good being bad. I really want to sing today a lot.
By the way, oh my God, I've been singing so much again recently.
And dancing?
Not dancing so much, but I've been making up my own songs.
Yeah, good.
And last night I made up one, right? And it goes like this. Will I do it for you? 2 seconds.
I won't look at you. Do it into your mic. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to when you put the mic out.
Don't you remember? Don't you believe me? That's as far as I've got.
Oh, is that?
Yeah. But I just started it off last night. And
that's good.
And then I thought that sounds really good. So I've just been kind of like teasing it out a little bit. I will probably move on to another bit of the verse later.
It's reminding me of something and I can't work out. I don't know.
Every song in the world. Because that's like all people say in songs. Do you remember? Do you believe me? You lied. Do you love me? Etc.
But you just need to hit the markers.
But that was good, eh?
I've been real. That was good. I liked it, and I think you can keep going. Don't give up, Nick, because that's the type of thing you put in a drawer and never look at again. And you shouldn't. And do you know what? That's so easy to adapt and get further into making because it's so just let it come out of you.
It did. It just came totally natural yesterday.
It's like, next, what are we remembering? What are we caring about?
And speaking of yesterday, even though I'm aware at the time of record it won't be the case, but obviously yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
And I just had a thought, and I've thought, why have I never thought this before? Who gave steak and chips the call up? Who gave peppercorn sauce the part?
Yeah.
Genuinely though, why is steak dinner with peppercorn sauce or other accoutrements immediately synonymous with Valentine's Day?
Is it? I don't think it is.
Yes, it absolutely is. All the
Steak and
dining
chips.
deals are steak dinners. Everyone was going for a steak. Every picture I saw of people, Lorenzo notwithstanding, they were out for a steak dinner. It's become the marker of heterosexuality. It's like Miller and Carter.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's because Miller and Carter,
But is it cause Miller and Carter?
Straight culture. That's because that is the straight culture that
But
it feels
why,
Valentine's Day.
But why is, right, this has got so many layers to it. Why is heterosexuality and Valentine's Day immediately kind of bound? They seem to be more of a typically heterosexual endeavour to celebrate it, right? I don't know if I necessarily agree with that.
Capitalism.
But
You don't.
yes,
you
true.
don't think it is?
I don't know. I understand what I think it is. I think it's got layers. I think that it's naff if you never show your partner any sort of appreciation, affection, or gift giving or love. And then you really amp it up on this specific day that, as Lorenzo says, you know, the capitalist structure suggests you should.
Yeah.
I just like, because I think it's a fun, nice day about love, and I like doing things like that. But really what's been in my brain is why were we all having a steak dinner?
Well, it goes back to, and I don't like to say it. Do you know what I'm thinking,
What?
Lorenzo?
Steak and blowjob day.
Blowjob day.
Because I've been
That's
thinking...
absolutely what I was thinking.
Because I've been thinking about this so much, I've also been thinking about our good friend Steak and Blowjob Day. Like, I was working my way around a peppercorn sauce last night thinking, I'm glad to be here.
Oh, yeah. What did you post in your story?
So you'll be hearing from me
Oh,
tonight
yeah.
in a beautiful tube of
What's the
peppercorn
original?
sauce.
He'll
He'll
be
be
hearing
hearing from me tonight, and it's a wine that's like up to here. That was me with the peppercorn sauce. But we decided just to lean into the whole heterosexual element of it last night and have a Miller and Farter night in, and just have, well, my vegetarian boyfriend had a marble steak, which was a brand of fake steak.
What is it, like just like a meat alternative?
Yeah, it's just like a meat alternative.
Well, I like to challenge the straight culture of having a steak by having a steak Diane.
Nice.
Because I just think, what sounds gayer in the world than I'll have the steak Diane.
I miss her a
Get her
lot.
up.
Prawn Marie Rose and steak Diane side by side
Oh,
at Miller and Farter.
I just got a vision of a cartoon where they come to life. They're
That's
characters.
beautiful, actually.
Like VeggieTales.
At night, yeah.
Well, anytime.
On Valentine's Day night.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Now, like, see when we're constantly looking for any sort of thing that's like a funding avenue to make a short film or like a thing to go on to get something made. Like, we've always got our eyes out for the limited opportunities in Scotland. And the other day I was thinking, and I know this might sound good, sorry if you're an animator out there, you've got to get something made. And I've never particularly been like driven by animation, but I seen something the other day that was like a scheme for like to make your first short animation film.
Yeah,
and
it's
I
all
thought,
the rage.
And I thought, fuck it. Why cannot?
Well,
And
there
now
you
I've
go.
got my idea. I haven't applied. And sorry if you're an animator and I'm taking away your passion for you because I actually care about storytelling.
Nobody's got Prawn Marie Rose and Steak Diane as animations in their bag right now, but they should have.
And beautiful. Did I say this on mic or off mic? Beautiful Gowns, the movie.
No, I've not heard that one. But
is-
kind of Mandela effect because I feel like I have a bit.
I did say it over there, definitely.
Uh-huh.
But Wuthering Heights is Beautiful Gowns, the movie.
Good.
But in the sense, because now Beautiful Gowns normally implies beautiful gowns.
Yeah.
Like, as in, like, nothing else to say about it, but the gowns were beautiful. Which is so funny. I think we spoke about it before, but the Aretha Franklin saying that about Taylor Swift because the gowns
doesn't
are
even
beautiful.
have beautiful gowns.
But anyway, there are literal beautiful gowns. On it, there was a bit kind. Do you know, there's two kind of montage sections that are actually really beautiful, like visually really beautiful, and actually and I was saying this earlier, and I posted it on my Instagram story. So if you've seen it, I'm sorry, but I think what it really harks back to for me is that nothing can ever beat the adrenaline rush of Us Against the World that Tattoo made.
Of course not.
Because to me, that's so special. Because they're not going to get us, not Now That I Love You.
No, and then they actually...
And we're both Russian lesbians.
They just did that and then dipped, which kind of proved their point. Like, nobody could get them, really.
And maybe they did get away and they're living the life together.
I think that's what's happened.
But I think that whole, like, I don't know, like cataclysmic love affair feeling is really, does that make sense?
Yeah.
That really is what you get for that film, that feeling. And I think it almost maybe feels a bit too immature in ways to people, or that's not real.
Toxic romance is back.
Toxic Boots.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, you should see, and Martin Clunes. The Martin Clunes in this film is the biggest fucking ledge.
Oh, good. Love to hear that, Doc Martin.
And I don't want to spoil it for you, but there's one thing I'll tell you, and I've said that 3 times. But there's one thing I'll tell you is that he's literally beating someone. He goes, "I am the kindest person in the world. I am so kind," while beating someone up.
Oh, Martin
Clunes.
So perfect. Honestly, the visual on Charlie and Martin Clunes standing side by side on the red carpet, I was like, that, do you know what? See stuff like that. That's why I'm alive.
Yep, I agree.
To look upon Martin Clunes standing shoulder to shoulder with Charlie XX, that's the type of world I want to live in.
And it all, again,
that's my Avengers.
That's what it keeps coming back to always. Celebrity Big Brother, because that does that more than anything.
Exactly.
And that is the
melting pot
and the merging of worlds. And the what is it people say? Not my Avengers, my multiverse of madness.
Yeah,
that's my is that
my Roman Empire? Bring it back.
Oh, yeah, that like that's Martin Clunes, B2B, Charlie XAX. But I want to say Charlie's album, right, obviously came out for the film. So good.
Yeah, I'm enjoying. I am enjoying.
Good.
It's nice change of pace, actually.
And not all of it's in the film. Only like 40 of them, I think, are in the film. And there's actually one point when he goes, "Why is a Charlie XCX song played over that scene?" It's
quite fun though, because there's no. I was enjoying the fact that there's obviously no modern references in the songs, if I'm correct, because they're clearly supposed to.
There is a bit where she says something about tires, and I didn't see any tires in this film. They had lots of horses.
Well, yeah, because I'm like, she can't say anything about like the internet or like the
which
modern
is nice
world.
Because it actually completely puts her into that world. And I think, like, I love the album, but then when I watch the film, even though not all of it's in it, after it, I feel even stronger.
I think I'll like it better when I've seen the film.
A perfect companion album, as they call it.
And you know what's so exciting as well? It's nice to have those types of art working side by side. I think that makes something a bit more of an event, having like a soundtrack that's official and things like that. I enjoy that. It all feels
like going back to a time where we needed to be, and I'll say it, I said it with Hamnet and I'll say it with this, we all just need to go back to, like, the Waynes and Wuthering Heights were going through a lot, but they certainly didn't have an iPad. And at the end of the day, they were probably happier. They were living in abject poverty.
Black and blue and all that.
Yeah, but I mean, do you know what? Some of us were.
And we had iPads.
I didn't have an iPad, but I had some technology. Do you know what? And we going, mate.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think that I just love it so much. And do you know what? I just keep thinking Mother Nature has so many gifts for us, and we ignore them every day.
That was literally me this morning bleeding out.
Yeah, exactly. That was your gift, and you were not ignoring it.
And I'm here right now.
Sorry if it's insensitive for me to say that was a gift.
No, but it is. It is the gift. It's, well, not the gift of life in my case, but the gift of showing that I am still turning.
Yeah. And Pollock Park, that's what keeps coming back.
I've not been in ages.
You really haven't. I've not seen you there.
I've not been at Pollock Park in ages. No, I've not been in ages. I've been Queen's Park a bit, but not as much as I used to.
I haven't really either.
Back on the saddle yesterday though. I was on the the new bikes.
Oh, I've not been on them yet.
They are very good, by the way.
What were you just singing? Was that like a Eurovision song?
I think what I was singing was actually Rain on Me by Pitbull. When he goes, yeah, let it rain down on me. But I changed it. The Voy bikes, I cycled from the south side to the west end.
Well done.
Non-patronising. Well done, as in the experience for me was great because I love to be on the saddle, but actually very, very little effort required because they're fully electric.
So class.
You're basically just
exercise.
steering it. Like, the only thing is they're so fucking heavy. Like, getting it manoeuvred is quite clunky, but I must say, loving it.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because when I walked here this morning, for some reason, Wuthering Heights cured my insomnia.
Well done, you
walked. And it put me back to sleep. And I got up at 5 a.m. this morning.
That's epic.
And everything felt amazing as it does.
Everything is awesome. Everything is cool today. Who sings that again?
Tegan and Sarah for the Lego movie. Hit list. I need to talk to you about that.
Offline.
Yeah, offline. But what was I saying? So like Wuthering Heights cured my insomnia, got me up at 5 a.m, seen the wonders of the world, watching the sunrise. I didn't watch the sunrise, the skies were grey as could be. But I was walking here and I was listening to the soundtrack and I was thinking, yes, the Chains of Love are cruel and yes, you're always everywhere, etc., etc. Thinking the world is beautiful. I'm so close to Pollock Park right now. And then I heard this noise and 3 boys went past me all in a row in an electric scooter, and I thought, no, see, this is the problem. I don't want to live now.
What, with this electric scooter?
No, and I'm
running
sure they're great.
around?
I've had to go on one a few times. And
No,
I did like
I'm
it.
quite averse to an
Oh
electric
my
scooter.
God, Kendra, do you remember? Once, I don't know where the fuck we'd been. I think we were at a gaff. We were at our friend's flat, who famously doesn't let us smoke out our window. Look, it's our flat. Yeah. Anyway, we went downstairs. Out the window's fine as far as I'm concerned.
I think I know what you're going to bring up.
We went downstairs to smoke a cigarette, and these like no more than 14-year-old boys came past, and I think they were firing into you. And then you were they were older than 14. It was like 3 a.m, so let's say 18. And they were firing into you, and you were, you know that thing when you're drunk and you just kind of point and speak?
Yeah.
You go, want that?
I have a one-track mind.
Aye, and like, your hair's normally like, we say large at that point, or like somewhere, and you're kind of just looking and you come. But it's a good place because
I'm focused,
yeah,
if
you're
anything.
focused. And you were just saying, they were like saying to you, do you have Snapchat? And you were like, fuck off. No, I don't have Snapchat. And then you went,
I was like, I'm a grown woman.
And you went, I want a shot of that.
Yeah, I did.
And they went, you want a shot of it? You went, and I was like, no, this is not good. This is not good.
It was a fully fledged electric scooter.
Before I could say, Kendra, I don't think it's a good idea. I'm not joking. The fucking speed that you took up off Pollokshaws Road, and I was like, stop. You were going,
I was so scared,
your
but
head in the wind.
And I also had a long coat on that was billowing behind me, which made it even funnier.
That was hilarious. Then you
That
came
was
back
good.
and he asked you for your Snapchat again. You were like, no, we're going back inside.
No, I literally slammed the door on him. I literally like used an 18-year-old boy for his electric scooter, then went back in the house and continued my evening.
I love them.
How funny is doing something like that than just going back in?
But that's life.
That is
That's what
literally
people
life.
say.
That is literally life. You're so correct.
And life is what experience things. And going back to Mother Nature and her gifts that she has to give us every day that we ignore. That's my line this week.
Yeah.
Because I just go, see, in Wuthering Heights, right, again, I'm not spoiling anything. It sounds like I'm every time, but you've probably heard about this one because I think people had a problem because they were like, that's not what it was like. And how do I say this without being crass? She was mashing clit.
Right.
I think there was a better way, maybe that wasn't as crass as that.
Mashing.
She was behind a big rock, rubbing one out.
Right, nice, nice.
And
No
Mother
better
Nature,
place to be.
aye. And on a cliff, Heathcliff, on a cliff, doing that, and people are like, "Oh, that's terrible. She wouldn't have done that." She would have.
How? That's the most thing you would do back in those days.
I know.
You had no other implements.
With your bodice.
Literally, you
And-
were go.
oh.
That's why everyone says doing it medieval style.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
Well, do you know what as well? Remember recently we were on the podcast, we were talking about how visceral the image of, or the feeling of Keira Knightley's corset being tightened in
Yes.
thing way. And do you
That's
know-
the rusical.
But that is that because I think Emerald Fennell was copying that. But also,
she would
do you
have
know what I
liked
think?
this, a bodice with a big breast sticking out the top.
It is.
Yeah.
And do you know, it's always in those things, and I can't even think of what actual media I'm talking about here, what TV show or film, but there's always a young maiden who's unhappy getting her bodice tightened by a cruel older woman.
Yeah, that
who
is
goes,
so true.
You just be happy.
Like Rose in
You will be happy.
Titanic.
Yeah, they're always doing it,
Yeah.
and it hits every time because you go, she wants to be freed, and they're physically
Yeah,
pulling
they're
her
showing
in
you that
to
she's
this
not
bodice.
free. She is not free.
But
She's ensnared by
You're not
femininity.
desperate to like get dressed up like that.
Absolutely, yeah.
That would just
I
be
don't need to
amazing.
spend more time in my life working out how I can
But
do
this
that.
is why we need to
Be in
get
a period
casting.
piece.
Yeah, but I don't care how trash and scum it is. If I get to the guys' outfits aren't as exciting.
No, they're so funny.
But
you
they
can
love a
wear the
mutton chop.
pantaloons and everything and have the big wig.
Yeah, yeah, wig. Yeah,
That
I'll need
wig.
a wig.
Like that's so good. I
Wig.
can see it for you actually.
Okay, wig. But the thing about Jacob Elordi's accent is it's literally in
So he's, hey there, Yorkshire, we
Oh,
chuff
chuffing
and
love,
love,
yeah.
Are
Yes,
you joking?
no.
Come back to mine and have a
He goes
bacon butter.
It sounds like, and I know this isn't quite Yorkshire, it's Manchester, right? But it sounds like, and I know it's one of the things, if we were watching that together, we would both know
Don't
what
you
what we're
dare
thinking
say
of.
Andy Tate.
No, no, but that's funny. I was going to say, you look like a fucking gay boy's ass. That's what it sounds like.
what it
Jaws.
sounds like?
Yeah, it's like
Dale Winton
Straws.
Straws.
That's for those of you that don't know, that's Liam Gallagher.
Homophobic
being
tirade.
homophobic to a member of the paparazzi. And he goes, I'll leather you knobhead. That's what it sounds like. I'll leather you knobhead.
like?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm excited.
It's like, Cathy. But do you know
Put
who's
your
good?
shoes
Because
in
it is his
bedroom.
voice, the child from Adolescence that's in it. He sounds like that. And
Yeah,
Jacob-
so that's
And then when he gets
authentic.
older and he's gone, Cathy. Chuffing love you. Speaking of, not speaking of, again, I'm doing a terrible segue, but see earlier when I was talking about S&M by Rihanna, well, I wasn't. I was just saying, nah, come on. I was inspired to listen to that on the way here, and I've not listened to it in years. And then my phone was just shuffling. When it just starts shuffling, like Smart Shuffle or whatever, different songs related. And I don't know if I'm delirious or I'm just in a really good mood, but I was, for 5 minutes of my walk, pissing myself laughing at the concept of Russian Roulette by Rihanna.
Oh my God.
Like, was it ever that serious?
No, I was just about to say the most serious song in showbiz.
So fucking
and you
funny.
can see my heart
beating. You can see it through my chest. I'm terrified.
But I'm not leaving. And then
it's so funny.
so just pull
the
the
trigger. Sorry, to be at the peak of your
career.
career.
She was really serious at that point with that hairstyle.
I was going to say that was
there
the next
was
thing
no
that made me
laughter.
Because you know what came on after it? Disturbia. I pissed myself again.
And also
I'm
just
going,
gonna
Chris.
stand there and watch.
It was all that serious.
Yeah.
See, to be at the peak of your career, and she was probably 22 or something at the time, to be having that fringe and going to work every day and laying down those songs that were actually earth-shatteringly serious.
Very earnest, especially off the back of "If It's Loving That You Want,
I know.
You Should Make Me
She
Your
switched it
Girl."
up, and she was having an era, and it made sense. But Disturbia was making me laugh so much when she goes, "What's wrong with me? I ain't supposed to be feeling like this." And it was just making me laugh the house down.
But that was like a continuation of like almost 90s R&B of like everything being really, really serious.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I always think about one of the most serious R&B songs that I think goes quite under the radar, not for me, Icebox by Omarion. No one cares.
How's it go?
I got this icebox where my heart used to be. And then he goes like that, I'm so cold, I'm so cold, I'm so cold.
I don't
actually
know that
think it's
one.
Timbaland in the background doing that shock.
I was actually thinking about you the other day when I was in an Uber, and do you know what was playing? Crash by Usher. Would you mind if I still love you?
That serious,
that
actually.
Was that serious.
That was
and
that
not
serious.
everyone knows that one.
That is so
But-
good.
No, the most serious of all is Burn by Usher.
Oh, beyond, deep down, you know it's ending. No, you don't
We
want
told
to.
you we wanted
A swimming
to
pool's
sing.
on fire.
Yeah. A swimming pool is
It's
on fire and you don't care.
No.
And you're
he
not...
jumps in it.
Because he's got to let it burn.
Yeah.
And do you know what? When I broke up with my high school girlfriend,
No, you didn't.
I was... no, I didn't send it. I was listening to that and I was going, I do just need to let it
It's going to
burn.
burn for me to say
Say
this, but it's coming from the heart.
Oh, wow.
But there's no lyric in that
I'm
that
so
says,
glad
I'm gay.
I've just got to Shack Boys. No, it was that serious. I'm glad we all got that out and we were feeling like we wanted to sing. And I've never heard Lorenzo sing.
Neither have I. When do you
strike me as you
sing?
don't like karaoke.
I love karaoke. I'm
Shut up.
very, very good at karaoke.
What'd you do, Steely Dan?
No, I do Walking in Memphis. I do Tom Petty.
Nice.
Free falling? Free balling?
No, American Girl I will do.
No, I don't care about that one.
No little ditties for us now?
No.
Mince,
No,
cheese and
he wouldn't
bastard.
do that.
You got a mic and everything there and you cans on and you won't sing.
You've got the perfect Band-Aid
You're
set
literally
up
ready to go.
and you won't even do it. Who misses Lorenzo having a camera?
Well, I actually do. I do.
Zozo
Can
cam.
you sign up to the £100 Patreon tier?
Lorenzo sends you voice notes at him singing, I was walking in Memphis. And can I tell you, the only version of Walking in Memphis I know is the Cher version.
Well, on my blue suede shoes.
and I.
Lorenzo, we'll need to get you teed up for a karaoke sitch then, because I would like to see you karaoke.
Why don't we try and raise £1 million, not for charity, for us, and we just do a 24-hour live stream at us, between us doing karaoke,
And
then
Sugar Cube
and
or
then, like,
Super Cube, whatever it's
aye,
called.
and when I'm like doing it, you can go and have a wee break, a lie down, and then we'll switch and we keep it going for 24 hours, and it raises £1 million for us.
That's actually a really nice concept.
Yeah.
Extreme karaoke,
Jack Osborne, Adrenaline Junkie.
but it's karaoke.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah, I so could I, because I actually haven't, I don't think I've done karaoke in a while, but I do really like it when I get on.
Well, I think that's all great things to plan to do in the new year that's about to start.
Hell yeah.
You all thought New Year's happened. No, it hasn't.
Nope, it hasn't at all, actually.
And why?
Because we're about to shed our skin a la Year of the Snake and hop on the fire horse, commencing the 18th. Today.
Oh, when this episode
Yes.
comes out. I was like,
Yeah, so I am excited. I'm feeling it. I feel like it makes so much more sense to have this impetus and this push at this juncture, because I just think, we've spoken about this before, but I just think expecting a big vibe shift and refresh at the beginning of January and actually being able to execute those changes is quite a lot.
execute me, God. No. No, sorry. Not execute me, Goddess. Sorry, I didn't mean that. Somebody that will be saying that.
Absolutely. So now I'm feeling like now is time to do
it's Chinese New Year.
It's Chinese New Year, and now it's time to do the final shedding and get on the fire horse.
So I've never... Wait, is Fire Horse of the Year? Never heard of that one. Do they not
Because
only have 12?
This year is now all about moving forward, momentum, speed, whereas the
A horse on fire.
Yes.
And out straight out of Usher's pool.
Absolutely, that's where it came from. And now we're just shedding all that, moving through that, and now we have, even if we're feeling slow, we've got to be fast, we've got to be full of intent, we've got to strive. It's momentum, it's push.
Okay.
Auspiciousness. We have to grab it. You might want to sit back, you can't. You
Grab
have
the
to
horse
stand
by
up.
its balls.
Literally by the big horse's cock. And run around with it.
I think we need a crass supercut.
We do.
We do.
We do. Actually, we do. That would be so good
So,
to go through the archives.
I agree. Like, it's always two dumb bitches saying exactly.
But it's true.
We've said this a million times, but that makes so much sense for New Year to start now. Why don't we all follow the Chinese New Year? Because these first 2 months are all obviously literally in the trenches from hell. Mm-hmm. And the road to hell is paved with good intentions. What about that? They can't stop saying that on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
And then
this
remember
season.
when Sutton said, "Why would the road to hell be paved at all?"
Oh no, is it not? Oh, it's the road to heaven.
Yeah. Because there was a
Jennifer Tilly
got it wrong, and then I loved when Sutton said, "Why would the road to hell be paved at all?" And I was like, "That's so funny
and powerful." Listen, in the last episode, Sutton had some stennies in. They were looking good.
I am still catching up.
It's no worth it.
I know, but I'm putting it on passively. Like when I'm eating my dinner or whatever, I just whack it on.
Yeah, when I go, put on Real Housewives. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Chinese New Year because the road to heaven or hell is paved with trash and scum.
Yeah.
In the first 2 months of the year. And I know we say it every time, but how can we keep living like this weather-wise?
Yeah.
It's actually unlivable.
Yeah.
And
It's
did you see that
atrocious.
other
It's
day
unacceptable.
when we seen the sky? Mm-hmm. And I was...
I'm alive. That's when I got on the saddle.
I genuinely was moved to almost tears.
But it was blisteringly cold, but I didn't give a fuck
Who
because
gives a rat's?
as long as there was actually vitamin D, I went and moved my laptop from my current cubby hole where I work to my living room table, and I could feel the sun literally on my skin, and I felt so blessed. And then I also felt like, why the hell am I grateful to feel warmth on my face whilst I work for 8 hours of the day? But I did, because that is where we're at.
Because that's where I'm at.
Literally.
Literally, when I was out in the rain the other day, and I just couldn't stop thinking about Phil Schofield, do you want me to die?
Because that's where I'm at. Like, this is not tenable. I know I've said that twice.
Every day
but
in the
this
UK
is
this year.
unsustainable. Yeah, I know.
It's got to end, and I just think, to me, I need to live in Spain. I think that's what it has to be. But then I'm not going to have a career in Spain.
Don't say that. The Harry Styles Tribute Act has a thriving career in Spain.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm really, really concerned.
Let me do it right.
No, are you going to do it?
I'm going to do... You know it's not the same as it was.
I'm on a different one now.
Oh, has it got a different one?
No, so that's Chuno, which was obviously the best one. But now there is... Have you not seen it? Oh, maybe this is me and Lauren Murray talk. Have you not seen the young Harry Styles impersonator that works exclusively in Benidorm?
No.
Oh my God, he's amazing. He's so good. Me and Lauren are obsessed with him. And now our obsession's grown and grown and grown until it's reached its apex. And now we've got a Sophie's Choice where basically he is leaving Benidorm and playing in London a night that we are there for her brother and my friend's 30th. So this is a problem because he is down the road playing, and we could go and see the Harry Styles impersonator from Benidorm, or we could celebrate our friend and her brother's 30th.
No, but he'd want to go.
He's having a 30th though.
But he's a Harry Styles fan. Wait, is his 30th in London?
Yeah. London?
That's it.
So it's going to be...
Didn't he say London once in Wuthering Heights?
Cammy is an avid listener, so I want to provide assurance that I will be at his 30th, not the Harry Styles from Benidorm
But I
impersonator.
think he would want to go to that.
Hopefully
Ask
it can
him.
be an after party
Ask him
type
right now.
situ.
If he'd consider.
But yeah.
Oh.
So you need to get familiar with this new impersonator.
I'm having a bit of heart. No, look, this sounds selfish, but obviously I'm a fan of entertainers. One in particular called Sheila Diamond.
Yes, of course.
Sheila Diamond's blown up.
Yeah.
She was talking to Scott Mills on the radio the
I
other
saw
day.
that.
She's booked out. I've been on Sheila Diamond's Facebook page where people just comment, "Seen Sheila tonight. She was fantastic.
So impressive.
Her cut-out dress.
Yeah.
I can't go
She
over it.
is so impressive. Her stature.
But she deserves this so much. And it's like what everyone said with Charlie, you know, like you had commercial success, then you were a bit of an underdog, and then you rose to the most commercial success, and now you've pivoted to your own little...
She's blossoming.
It's kind of Sheila on the trajectory as well.
This is Sheila's trajectory.
She's been a working entertainer for over 30 years, Kendra. And she sings Gladys Knight. She does Whitney. She does Mariah. She does any of the divas.
She needs to
And
pen
let's
her
remember
own
what-
songs.
Oh,
and
she
that could
does.
be her next move.
But let's remember what the term diva meant back then. When they referred to the divas, right?
Sorry,
that was what you're laughing at.
The diva is
The female version of a hustler. Maybe it is.
Yeah.
But when they, like VH1, I was watching this on YouTube the other day. VH1 used to have this thing. It was called like Diva. It wasn't called Diva Off.
No, they
obviously
had
not.
the most hilarious like titles for just playing music videos.
But this one was good because it would just have one of like the big five at that time, like Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Whitney, just coming on and singing songs like every week they had a diva who was in the Diva-Verse. I'm trying to make... I keep talking about wanting to go back to old times, then I'm saying
The
Diva-Verse.
Diva-Verse.
But anyway, the Sheila Diamond's doing really, really well.
I'm happy for her.
And I think that she's not only a good vocalist, she's a performer. If you don't know who she is, you should know.
You get to know. She's very... I'm not surprised that Scott Mills has got his hands on her. Because not even just as a gay man, but Scott Mills, not that I know him, but Scott Mills is quite a specific type of gay radio presenter that I think Sheila Diamond is the perfect fit for him.
Yeah.
I don't have anything else to say other than that. I just know that that's an area that he would explore.
And how would you psychoanalyze, and don't be afraid to say anything that might be negative, how would you psychoanalyze a gay man, for example, that is obsessed with people like Sheila Diamond?
I think that it probably evokes a sense of motherliness in a gay man that they wouldn't be able to enact in their own life, and it's a sort of projection.
Okay.
But also it's just when someone...
It's the underdog for me. That's my psychoanalyze.
I think it's when someone
marginalized.
Like they have that aura about them where it's like their icon status is clearly there, but only for certain eyes to see. And I think that gay men like being those eyes to see.
Well, Michelle McManus, legend, friend of the pod legend, explained to me that she felt like when she was flopping, in the article in the paper said flop idol, she was saying that the LGBTQ plus community welcomed her with open arms.
It is an underdog thing, then you're right, actually.
I think that is what it is in terms of like things like Mighty Hoopla. Like, why are 40,000 people like queuing up to see like Marty McCutcheon?
Yeah,
like,
I know.
Because at the time, and actually it's like obviously like the classic thing of like gay men randomly are obsessed with a pop star that had one song and whatever, and they know everything about it. It's because I think when you see some, and they're always talented. Most of the time they're pretty talented.
But maybe they're not like, they've not got that broad brush appeal.
And then also you could see that they were good and you were like, this is great. And then they maybe had a moment in the mainstream, then they were kind of rejected, like, oh, we've moved on. And then they still are invested.
Yeah.
And I think it was something of, I'm not trying to deep it more than it needs to be, but, and I'm not saying this is how I feel exactly, but maybe it is. With Sheila Diamond. Because to our people, like, she's actually a working entertainer, and she's maybe not having mainstream success, but she's still been doing it, and she's talented. And then it's like, well, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm happy for her. Also, the fact as well, you know what I think is exciting about that is that she has been doing what she's doing for herself because it's authentic and real to her for 30 years, not for any major acclaim, and now she's getting acclaim. Aye.
That's exciting.
Aye, that's true. And what is it like? See, people often send me a video, and I've nearly 99% of the time obviously already seen it because I've never been off my phone, and if there's anything that's my vibe, I've seen it because I follow these people. Like, I'm on Sheila Diamond's Facebook page.
Yeah.
I'm not a passive viewer.
No.
So people send me things, but then I realised, what have I done that's made people genuinely, like the other day, 4 people sent me the same video, and it was just a random middle-aged woman doing something really funny, and she was like, and I was like, what? Is it because I share things like that? It must be, but also I think it's kind of just like that love of Huns thing.
Yeah.
And it's like that is
it's
always
an energy you
we
give
just
off.
see a diva and we want to know about her, want to know more about her. But I did wonder
What
if you had
platform Sheila Diamond?
Yeah, platform women. Full
Yeah.
stop. How about that? But I was intrigued to hear if you thought there was a more sinister, negative.
No, I know. I
connotation to
don't
it.
think.
No.
I think sometimes people can be gatekeepy, and maybe sometimes if they get like a person that they're not like in a sinister way, but they're like, I discovered this person,
yeah,
or like
yeah,
I
yeah.
know that
Yeah.
person's a legend,
And I
or
want
whatever.
people
Blah
to know
blah
when
blah.
I do that, genuinely, I do mean that as a joke. When I said I was gatekeeping Sheila.
How funny
Why
is
would 10-minute segment on Sheila
gatekeeping
Diamond?
Sheila Diamond?
99% of people listening don't know
But this is another chance for
To
Sheila Diamond
platform.
to be known.
to platform. No, but I do know that's a horrible trait of being like, well, I showed you that, and I like that back when.
But
and
how funny is being like that about Sheila Diamond? Like that's what we need to drill into more. That is what we need to drill into more.
But I've really stopped doing it, and I know it just comes from being insecure and wanting to prove your worth. No, let me move on. He won't let me move on and talk about it broadly. It's wee guy behaviour.
Yeah, I know what you mean. We've
But
all felt it at some
But
point
I
in
don't
our
want to
life.
be that type of person that gatekeeps people or claims to have
No.
heard of something first.
So Scott Mills has got her now. So
That's
you're
fine,
sorted.
brilliant, amazing. But see, I realised I do that with things of like, I get annoyed because if someone like if you like something, if I liked something when I was younger and then people would make fun of it then and then they like it now, that bothers me. But I know
What's
I still
a
need to
good
go over
example
it.
of that?
I don't know. I was saying something to my boyfriend about this other day and he went, "Oh, shut up!" Go, "Oh, I like this when I was," and he was making fun of me. But I can't even remember what it was. But if there was just something that you were really into and everyone was like, "That's naff," and then it became more something that more people were into, you go, "Fuck you! Fuck you!"
Fuck you.
Famously, what I say to people. But that's what I'm working through getting over at the moment.
You're shedding that for the new
For
year.
the new year, I don't want
Yeah.
to be. I want rid of that negative trait,
We're riding on the horse to a brighter future.
and the only way is up.
Yeah. So
Baby.
like the snake sheds its skin, I currently shed my womb lining as we speak.
Yep.
And we move on to pastures new.
Yes.
You can take a horse to water, but you can't
cannot
make it drink. And as Pete Burns said, you can take a horticulture, but you can't make it think.
Which is incredible. And as a former colleague of mine said to me, you can take a horse to work, but you can't make it. No, fuck. There was something better than that. I was an old colleague of mine said you can take. It was about me not doing enough work on time.
You can take Paul to work, but you can't make him work.
It was like that, but better. You can take I think it was something as like you can take a horse to the laptop, but you can't make them right.
Good.
And that's what was happening
Yeah.
at that time.
Many iterations of the phrase.
Yeah.
You've been listening to Who Agrees with me, Kendra McPherson.
And me, Paul Black.
And as always, a huge thanks to our sponsor, Iola, for keeping us looking very, very specky.
Yes, thank you. And guess what? The chains of love are cruel. Don't forget
We
it.
be new.
And everybody comment the chains of love are cruel so we know you're listening to it. Leave us a review and do all the things. And come see me on tour. And anything else?
Just keep on keeping on, guys. Stay where you are and shed
the
that skin.
Yeah,
Nice.
Martin Clunes. All right, bye.
Bye.